Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Today I'm going to hit the road and check out a remake, reboot that I honestly don't believe anyone has asked for. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, and that is the movie House Party. That's right, they went and remade Kitten Plays House Party, and I'm gonna go watch it. Now, I am not saying that's a bad thing. I enjoy these movies. They're part of my teenage years. The first one came out in 1990, and I was around 16 years old, and I loved that movie. I remember it showing at the old theater I worked at, and all of us there, we dug this film from beginning to end. It's just a great little cult comedy. But I am amazed that this film is getting a remake. I just am. I say this kind of stuff all the time, and I'm not saying that this is a bad movie, but this is the kind of movie that makes for a good remake. It is not one of the classics. It is not one of those films that are going to get people worked up that are upset that they're remaking, and it gives them another chance to kind of have another go at it. And to be honest, who doesn't love watching crude humors about big parties? And that's exactly what this movie is. The story in this film is a little different. Instead of it being two teenagers throwing a blowout, it looks like it's two younger adults who are hired to clean out LeBron James' house. Yeah. So while they're there, they're like, you know what, he's gone for the whole weekend. Let's throw a big old ass party and charge people money and make a bunch of freaking money and then take off. Why not? What could possibly go wrong when you throw a great big out-of-control party in someone else's house? Oh boy, it looks like wackiness is going to ensue.
You mean shenanigans?
Okay guys, enough of me yammering and talking here. It is time for me to hit the road and check out the movie House Party. Welcome back, and you know what guys? January has finally struck. This movie was not all that great, but it wasn't god-awful, it wasn't completely terrible. It was mostly like, I kept asking myself this question. What is going on here, and who is this movie for? Is there some large group out there that was hollering and said, you know what we really want? Give us a House Party remake. That's what we want. Like, was there a Snyder Cut situation with this that I am unaware of? I don't know, but wow, I don't know why this movie was made. Okay, that is my first negative that I'm going to put on this film is I don't know why this film was made. Okay, so as usual, I will start with the negatives and I'm going to end with the few positives of this film. Okay, so the first negative is this movie doesn't actually feel like a fleshed out movie. Like, it seems more like a series of sketches. Like, it was not necessarily an anthology comedy, but it's just like, oh, it's time for us to have a wacky adventure over here. Oh, we have this subplot of these three guys and they're the bad guys. Kinda. Oh, there's also this little thing that we have to do over here. So it didn't really feel like it was all supposed to be happening at the same time or was even connected. It was just like, here's a Saturday Night Live sketch. Here's another Saturday Night Live sketch. Oh, by the way, this party's happening at the exact same time. So let's get back to the party real quick. Now back to the party. And oh, hey, it's a celebrity. What do you know? It's cameo time. And that's pretty much how this movie goes. It's like there's something going on outside of the actual party, and they go take care of whatever that is, come back to the party, have some kind of thing at the party, then for some reason they have to leave the party again for some other wacky little adventure. I mean, it's just a very kind of discombobulated film. Now, some positive things about this movie. The jokes, there are some funny parts in this film. I did laugh a few times, and the chemistry between the two lead actors is great. You do get a feeling that these two are two friends who have been together for a long time, and they're probably going to remain being friends for much longer. And the celebrity cameos were kind of fun. It was very themed to the 90s. Even the music, like there's a lot of 90s hip-hop and R&B and all. So again, if you're in the nostalgia area, that's a positive. So the jokes aren't always great, but there are some that land pretty good. I did find myself chuckling out loud a few times. It was just that none of it fit together. So even though there were jokes that worked, as a whole film, nothing comes together as anything. I don't know why this movie was in theaters. This is such a strange thing because this was a Warner Brothers film, alright? So they've got HBO Max. Why didn't they just dump this movie out on HBO Max and be done with it? What, they canceled like the Batgirl movie, but this somehow made it to theaters? I don't get it. I don't. But like I said, the movie is not terrible. It's worth a watch. It's going to be on HBO Max, okay? So it's going to be worth a watch once it hits HBO Max. In fact, this is just a streaming film, period. There's no reason for this movie to be in theaters. It never felt big enough for an actual film in theaters, even with this huge raging party going on, because you see so little of the party, it never feels like it's all that big. It's just like, oh, we're in a bedroom, something's going on, and now we're away from the party again, and something's going on, and it just never felt like it was very grand, like there was a lot going on. Okay, guys, well, that's all I have for you. This is a solid stream it for curiosity's sake kind of film. So if you liked what you saw here today, go ahead, check this film out once it hits HBO Max. I don't think this is a movie that is really something that needs to be seen in theaters. Just wait for it. Give it a watch. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.